get the show started!
In today's video, Tai Tuivasa calls out Jon Jones to a fight. Ben Askren says he would come out of retirement to fight Jorge Masvidal. Michael Bisping previews Robert Whittaker vs. Marvin Vettori. Anderson Silva vs. Jake Paul targeted for a Showtime boxing event on October 29th. And Corey Anderson praises Bellator and takes shots at the UFC. Let's roll. UFC heavyweight contender Tai Tuivasa has called out Jon Jones to a fight. Tuivasa, who's coming off a huge knockout win over Derek Lewis, is set to face Cyril Gane in the main event of UFC Paris this Saturday night. Despite having a tough test in Gane, the Australian is already looking for his next opponent as he called out Jon Jones during Monday's interview on the MMA Hour. Ben Askren says he would come out of retirement to rematch Jorge Masvidal. The former Bellator and one welterweight champion suffered a highlight reel 5-second knockout to Masvidal at UFC 239 back in 2019. Now, after being asked by a fan on Twitter about a potential rematch with Gamebred, Askren tweeted, "It's the only thing that I would come out of retirement for." Askren has also taken shots at Masvidal for trying to get a Leon Edwards title fight. He tweeted, "Been off the grid camping. Why is not getting a title shot off 3 losses in a row a controversial opinion? Also, I would rather be a has-been than a never was. Lastly, you can't avoid someone for 3 years, then try to pick a fight once they get a belt." What do you guys make of Askren's idea to come out of retirement to fight Jorge Masvidal? Let us know in the comments below. Robert Whittaker and Marvin Vettori will face each other in the co-main event of UFC Paris this Saturday. Speaking on the most recent episode of the Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping shared his thoughts on the matchup and praised the two fighters for accepting this fight, knowing full well that the winner will not get a title shot anytime soon. Here's the clip.
It's a phenomenal fight, first of all. It's an incredible fight. And I think they're ranked, 1 and 2 or 2 and 3 in the division, right? And both of them have lost to Israel Adesanya twice. So the reality here is that regardless of whoever wins, you're not getting a third fight with Izzy just yet, right? Robert, it was his last fight. Marvin, it was 2 fights ago. Last one was Costa, then it was Izzy. So they're not going to get a shot anytime soon. But that's why I respect the hell out of both of them for taking this fight. And that's why the UFC, because there's less politics and there's less promotions and less belts and less politics basically involved, the best fight the best. Because in boxing, this fight would not be happening. They'd say, well, we just both lost to the fucking champ. Why am I going to go fight the #1 contender right now? Because if I beat him, I don't get rewarded of a title fight. But it's such a risky fight. Do you know what I mean?
There's no reason to be fighting each other, to be
that's
honest.
what I'm saying. That's why I respect them so much for taking the fight, because it's such a hard fight.
Jake Paul has his next fight booked, and it's reportedly against former UFC champion Anderson Silva. This is according to Keemstar, who covers YouTube and social media news and drama, as well as being close with the Pauls, is reporting Jake Paul will box Anderson Silva. The event is targeted to take place on October 29th and will serve as the main event of a Showtime pay-per-view. Here's what he tweeted. "Anderson Silva vs. Jake Paul. Who you got? I'm literally hearing that this is going to be announced. #drama alert." Jake Paul and his team have also confirmed over social media that the YouTuber will be returning in October against a massive opponent and that the contract has been signed. Here's what Paul's team tweeted. "Next week we will announce Jake Paul's next opponent. @Jake Paul will almost certainly be the underdog. He knows that and he wants that." Jake confirmed the news by tweeting, "Just got the call. Massive opponent announcement this week. October." Paul is coming off a KO win over Tyron Woodley last December, which served as a rematch after he edged out a split decision win in August. As for Silva, after ending his MMA career, he scored a decision win over Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and then knocked out Tito Ortiz last September. What do you guys make of this matchup? Who do you think wins, Silva or Paul? Let us know in the comments below. During a recent interview on SiriusXM, former UFC fighter and current Bellator light heavyweight contender Corey Anderson took some shots at the UFC for bad treatment and discussed the differences between Bellator and the UFC. Here's the clip.
It's like going to work for somebody. If you don't like your boss, you don't go there and try to do great things from it. At that point, it wasn't just not Dana, but just the organization as a whole. For me, I feel it was always an uphill battle. Like, it's supposed to be tough to fight for the top, but it was more than just that. It was like I was fighting with, especially after UFC 232 when everything happened with Jon Jones and my wife got involved and they were trying to leave her in Vegas and fly me to Cali. And after that, it was always bad blood between me and everybody in the UFC. So it was like I wasn't fighting just to fight, but I was always fighting to prove something to those guys. I earned the title shot, but everybody getting it before me. Fighting against the media, I was fighting for all the wrong reasons after that fight, when I left, I finally met Scott Coker, and it just felt like after I signed the contract, I met Scott Coker and I asked him some questions, and it seemed like, okay, that weight that I had the whole time in the UFC just lifted off my back, and I can go back to just having fun. And I've actually been, like people said, you actually been more exciting now in Bellator than you ever were in the UFC, and that's just because I'm fighting freely. I'm having fun again. I enjoy where I am. I love my new bosses. I love the new organization, everybody in it, all the people I fight with and fight against. Like, at the end, everything is cordial and cool. And that just makes me so much happier of a person. It makes me fight to the best of my abilities.
Here are the top 3 memes we found on the internet. Third place was found on Instagram and was posted by a user named MMA Memes. Our second place meme was found over Reddit and was posted by a user named The Epic Salad. And our top pick was also found on Twitter and was posted by Paulo Costa. Every day, we search the internet for the funniest MMA memes and post them to our fan page on Facebook called MMAmemes.com. If you want your meme to be included in our next video, just send it to us in private message on Facebook. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.